Alright guys, we are at the end once again of our row 2 of our stitch pattern, so let's finish that up with a single crochet in that last chain 3. You're going to do a chain 2 and a double crochet into that chain 1 space, or that chain 1 stitch. And upon finishing that up, and I've already got my new color attached, which is going to be my burgundy. So I am just going to get my loop there and pull that burgundy right on through. So you're just going to jump right into your color change and turn over. Okay, so now that was row 2. Now we're just going to do 4 rows now of this burgundy, or the color that you've chosen to do, because the burgundy now is going to be my second most used color in my wrap, gray being my first, burgundy being my second most used, the purple being the plum being my third most used, and then I have my cream. So what we're going to do now is just pick up like normal, going to chain 1 here, and then you're going to do your single crochet into that first stitch, which is no different we've been doing, chain 3, and double crochet right into that chain 2 space, and then you're just going to start your pattern. So single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and double crochet here, and then you're just going to go with your pattern. Okay, so you're just going to do 4 rows, switching back and forth between your row 2 and row 3 of your stitch pattern. Okay, so again, you're going to be doing starting with this row, which is your row 3. You will do row 3, row 2, row 3, and row 2. So you will end on a row 2, and you will have a total of 4 rows of this color. So I'm going to do this off camera, and once I have my 4 rows of my burgundy, I will be back and explain the next part of this pattern. So go ahead and get your 4 rows completed, and I will meet you back up for the next part. See you then. Alright guys, we are back. I am at the end of my 4 rounds of burgundy. So we're going to end this round here. We are going to do our single crochet into the last chain 3 gap, chain 2, and end with the double crochet into that last single crochet. Okay, and before we finish that off, we are now going to separate our yarn, and now for the next color change, we are told to go back to our color, which is going to be cream in my case, so that will be color D. And that means that I am going to add this color, and again, you're only going to be doing color D for 1 row. So you're going to be doing it for 1 row here. So I just finished it up. We're going to tie this on here, and then we just completed row, let's see, row 2. So now we've turned, and we are going to get all of our strands in order. Now you're going to be working row 3 again of our pattern, so do your chain 1. You're going to single crochet, chain 3, and double crochet into that chain 2 space. And once again, resume that pattern of single crochet, chain 3, and double crochet into that next chain 3. And then you're just going to continue working that pattern for 1 row only. Okay, so then once you get to the end of this round, we will be working another color change. So again, like I said, you're not worrying so much about your pattern itself in regards to the stitch or the stitch pattern, you're more concerned with your color pattern. So because you're just doing the same 2 rows over and over. So you're just working your same rows over and over, alternating all through your wrap here. So all you're going to do is just do this color all the way across, and I will meet you up at the end and we will go on to our next color. Alright guys, we're at the end now of our stitch pattern, which is row 3. So we're going to end it with a single crochet here in the top, the top of this last double crochet. So what you're just going to do is pull that through. You're not going to finish that off. However, we're going to finish our yarn off here because we were only doing 1 row. And now what you're going to do is switch back over to color B, which is our, or my, not our, but whatever color you did here. And mine is going to be burgundy. So what you're going to do is you're going to repeat another 4 rows. So you're going to just repeat rows 2 and 3 for 4 or 2 rows each, a total of 4 rows. So here you're going to start with your row, being that you just ended row 3, you're going to start with row 2. So you're going to chain up 3. So let me zoom in for you a bit. So you'll start with a chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to double crochet into that same beginning stitch, and then you're going to go right into that chain 3 space and start with your stitch pattern, okay? And then you're just going to work this across. Now you're not going to change colors again for 4 rows. So it's just a copy of what we did in this section here. So you're just going to do 4 more rows, and I will do those off camera. So you're doing row 2, so then you will do row 3, row 2, and you will end in row 3 once you've gotten 4 rows. Okay, so then once you have gotten all the way across and you have a total of 4 rows with this color, I will meet you back up and we will move on to the next section, and then we will be changing color again. And I promise we're almost halfway. And once we're halfway, what's going to happen is you will be repeating this whole color scheme another whole time, okay? And then that's what's going to make your entire wrap. So we've still got a few rows to go after this. So go ahead and do these 4 rows, alternating rows 2 and 3, and then I will meet you back up for the next section of rows. Alright guys, so basically now I finished up my next set of burgundy rows, and in case you haven't noticed, what we're doing now is kind of duplicating this side. So once you got to this section here of the burgundy on my piece, you started duplicating here. As we're starting to work this side now, we're working the same color scheme over again. So once you got to this side of the burgundy, you're going to be working the same color scheme as we did on this side. It's going to be very similar. So basically now, because you've worked this burgundy like you worked this burgundy on this side, now we're going to go back to working on my piece. It's going to be 2 colors or 2 rows of whatever color your, let's see, your seed color is, which mine is going to be the plum. So see here, if you're working backwards, but you're going to be working this way, it was my plum. So let's finish up our row here. So we were working on row 3, so we're going to finish up here. We're going to do a single crochet in the top of this last double crochet, and we're not going to finish that stitch off, but we're going to disconnect that yarn, and we're going to add our color C, which is my plum. Add that here and make my 2 knots as I always do. Then we're going to turn it, and it's getting rather large now. Alright, so now what we're going to do is do row 2 of our stitch pattern. So we're going to do a chain 3, and you're going to double crochet here in the same stitch, and then you're going to start working your pattern in that chain 3. Okay, and it's no different. Just continue working that stitch pattern in each one of those chain 3 spaces. Now you're going to do 2 rows of this, so you're going to do row 2 of the stitch pattern, and then you're going to turn and you're going to do row 3 of the stitch pattern. Okay, so again, what we're doing now is we're switching over. So now this half going this way is going to look just like this half in stitch and in color. So it's just going to be a duplicate of the first part of our wrap. So you're just going to do this row, and then the next row you will do in the same color, and I will meet you up at the end of these 2 rows, and then we will be switching over to our color A, which is going to be our gray. Okay, so then I will see you at the end of these 2 rows. Alright guys, I am at the end of the second row here of our purple. So now what you're going to do is a single crochet in the top of that end stitch, which is our double crochet. We are going to fasten off this color, and now we are going to join our color A, which is our gray, and we are going to join this color in and tie these together. So again, we are still duplicating this side to match the prior side. Now you're going to do 2 rows with our color, and we just finished up row 3, so you are going to continue 2 rows here, and you're going to start with our row 2. So you want to chain 3. You're going to double crochet into that same stitch, and then you're going to continue your pattern. So do your single crochet, chain 3, double crochet into that chain 3 space, and then you will continue that across. Okay, so you will do row 2, and then you will turn, and then you will do row 3 of our stitch pattern. So you will do 2 rows, and then we will meet back up after you have the 2 rows. And if you go down here further, you will see this is what we're duplicating at this point. And then what you're going to do then is, you see what's coming up next is we will duplicate this row, which we will be changing over to doing 1 row of white. Okay, so what I will do is I will do my 2 rows here of my gray, and once I have those 2 rows complete, I will meet you back up and we will go on to our next color. Alright guys, as I mentioned at the end of the last clip, we are now going to change over for 1 row of our color D, which is going to be my cream. So let's finish up here with this row. So you're going to do a single crochet in the top of that double crochet. Go ahead and finish off with this gray, and I'm going to add my cream. Okay, and we're just going to simply tie our knot here, and we just finished up with row 3. So this row we are going to do row 2. So with row 2 you will start with a chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, double crochet as well in that first stitch, and then start your stitch pattern. And I had to, part of my yarn was unraveling, so I had to cut that. So this is just some ends I have to weave in. So let's do our single crochet, chain 3, and double crochet, and then you're just going to work that across. And again, we're only doing one row of this color, whatever color you have, and then we're going to move on. And as you see here, this is what we're matching up from the beginning here to the end on this end. Then what's going to be next is I'm going to go ahead and tell you, because I'm going to go ahead and start that piece as well. You're going to go directly into doing a total of 7 rows with your A color, which is my gray, which is your beginning color. Okay, so once you've completed this row of cream, which is our second row of our stitch pattern, then you're going to join back your gray, and you're going to start with row 3, okay? And then you're going to do a total of 7 rows in your next color, which was your beginning color, okay? Which is my gray. So if you used gray to start with, then this is going to be the color you're going to go back to using for the next 7 rows. So you're just going to alternate for 7 rows to match this side. So you're going to start out with that color. Once you've completed this row, you're going to start out with row 3. Okay, so go ahead and finish row 2 here with cream. Then you're going to join back your color A, whichever color you began your project with, and then you're going to do 7 rows in that color, working alternative rows between rows 2 and 3. And you will be starting with row 3. Okay, and you will alternate 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2 until you have 7 rows in that color. And then once I have that completed, that's when I will join you back, and then I will tell you at that point, basically, I can tell you now, all you're going to do is repeat the entire process from this white row here, from this row all the way to the end. You're going to repeat the whole color process again, but I'll go over that with you again. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back once I have it completed. Alright guys, I am back with you. So now what has happened, we have completed our 7 rows of our gray, which is our color A. So now what we're going to be doing is you're going to duplicate everything from this row here, which is our what is called the D color, and then you're going to go from this row all the way into this row that we just completed. Okay, so you're going to repeat from here all the way to here once more with the same, repeating the same 2 rows, just alternating, and the same colors in the same color scheme that we've already done here. So basically, if you have your pattern pulled up, you can just go in the sequence that it's telling you, as I've already showed you once. Or if you don't have your pattern pulled up, you can just go and rewind the video starting with this row that we've done and just rewatch the video. But there's really no need in me going all the way back through and showing these same exact rows again. Basically, when you have gotten all the way back through this whole sequence of alternating rows 2 and 3, and from this row to this row again, this whole section, you are complete of your wrap. Your wrap will be complete. Then you will fasten off. We've in all of these ends, and it does not call for a border, but if you want to do a border, that's totally up to you. I may end up doing a single crochet border or a half double crochet or maybe a crab stitch border, something simple. I may use some type of maybe a more I can't get the words out right now, but maybe a more fuzzy type yarn. I'm not really sure yet what I'm going to do. It's just one of those type situations I won't know till I get there. So basically now all you're just going to do is you're going to switch over to your color D, which I have switched over. So basically I am just going to zoom in here now for you. And all we're just going to do is resume what we have done. I'm going to cut off my gray. I'm going to just tie my knot here like I normally do. And then you're just going to turn and you're going to resume your rows. Okay? So again, if you don't have access to the website or a computer or anything where you can be looking up the pattern, then all I recommend is that you rewind the video and start where we started this first white row after we did our first section of gray, and then you just follow all the way to the very end of this gray section, and then your whole wrap is going to be complete. Okay, so then all you're going to do at this point is you're just going to go back, starting with row, let's see, where did we end up? You are going to, let's see, where did we end up here? You're going to do a chain, after I get talking I forget which one we ended up on. You're going to do a chain 1, and you're going to do a, no, you're going to do a chain 3 here. So 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to do a double crochet into that same stitch. So you're going to be starting with row 2, and then you're just going to resume your pattern. So single crochet, chain 3, and double crochet into that first set of, or that first chain 3 space, and then you just start your pattern. Okay, so you're just going to be starting with row 2 of the stitch pattern, and you're just going to be working from there, changing colors as your pattern says to, and as I stated throughout the video. Okay, so now I'm going to set you free on that. As I said, there's no reason really for me to go back through the same exact color sequence or row sequence again. Just rewind or follow the color sequence and the stitch pattern as we have done through the rest of it. And once I have completed my wrap, if you follow me on Facebook, you will see it there, but I'm not going to post it at the end of this video because I want to go ahead and by the time you see this you will see my video posted, but the actual finished wrap will not be part of this video. I will make a separate video to show you what my finished product looks like. So this is going to be the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed doing this project as the very first project of National Crochet Month, and I hope that your project is going to come out really beautiful, and I know that it will because you guys are super awesome out there for crochet month, and I know you got good plans and great projects that you've got in mind. So I will see you guys on the next video. So happy hooking!